Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Well, it's getting to be New Year. I'm Alex Bennett, and we're going to be here for just a little while. Here on the east coast of the United States, it happens to be, let's see here, it happens to be just about a quarter of midnight. So we got 15 more minutes before the new year gets rung in, and I figured I would ring it in here. And I'm going to open up the Skype lines right now so that if people want to call and be part of our little citizen panel for the new year, they can do that. And let me just get a few things fixed here. There we go. And we're ready to roll whenever you might be. But let me see here. Where do we start? This is a lousy New Year's. It's been a lousy holiday season for me. It started out with my birthday. My birthday didn't amount to anything, and I don't think birthdays ever amount to what you want them to amount to tell you the damn truth. Here comes Phil Meyer, right? But birthdays never amount to what you want them to. They're always an what can we call it? A letdown. Wouldn't you say, Phil?
Happy New Year.
No, we're talking. I was talking about birthdays first.
Oh well, I had to turn off the live feed before I, did the nasty.
Yeah.
But is it New Year's yet?
No. It will be here in New York, where we get New Year before anybody else does.
Now, I heard that they couldn't fly the drone today over Times Square. They run out of money in New York or something?
What do you mean the drone? I didn't hear about that.
Well, that was one of the security measures. They have 7,000 policemen. They have 1,200 cameras, just like GabNet. And, and they had a drone, and this drone was going to provide unique security.
Right.
Well, they couldn't fly it. Now, they said that it was weather, but what's going on there?
I can't begin to tell you.
Well, give me the weather report. Look out the window.
Oh, it's raining.
Oh, okay. That's why they couldn't fly the drone.
Yeah, it's raining and it's wet and it's miserable out there.
Yeah, and there's 1 million people in Times Square waiting for some ball to drop.
That's correct.
Now, they could have been nice and warm and cozy and sitting around listening to GabNet. But no, they had to go to Times Square.
Oh, boy. So, it's raining out there and it's wet. And we were supposed to go to a party tonight. And as you know, we have a woman with a bad leg here. Mm-hmm. And we would have, I suppose, gone to this party if it wasn't going to be rainy.
Yeah, well, she could have had a leg up,
Well, you see, if she didn't have the leg problem, okay, where we're going to go is all the way downtown to 21st Street. What we could have done was get on the C or D train, go down to Rockefeller Center, grab the F, go to 23rd Street, and just walk 2 blocks to the apartment. Under normal conditions, that would be simple. It'd be easy peasy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I've got a woman in a leg brace who can't move her leg, who's supposed to keep it stiff and whatever. We can't, going up and down stairways and subways and things like that, impossible. Yeah. So we would have had to take a car down there. Then we figured on New Year's Eve, a car each way would run us a total of about $200.
Yeah.
And we said, "Fuck that."
Well, was this party, full of interesting people, or
no?
No. Okay. Well, you would have gone anyway.
The usual people, me and Shecky and Marjorie and Jack and Natalia. My friend Jack Garfine and his lovely lady Natalia. Although they don't have their cat.
No, what happened?
We
They
have,
ate it?
we have their cat.
Oh, okay. You ate it.
And the cat is now sleeping in the other room. Maybe the cat will walk in while we're on the air.
Yeah. Now, does this cat get into bed with you when it's time to go to sleep?
You know something? The last times we had her here, she never got on the bed.
Yeah.
This time, she's so comfortable with us, she actually gets on the bed and sleeps on the bed. And now she decided that the room, the guest room, is hers.
I got it.
And so she's in there right now, sleeping in the guest room.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
Hello,
looks like we got
Patrick. Oh, look who we have for again for a little bit of New Year's here. Hello, Patrick. How are you, my friend?
Were you just viewing The Shining?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm psychic.
Were you watching The Shining? Was that what it was?
Oh, that's my New Year's movie. Yeah. Yeah, and every year I wanted, do a movie for that, and I thought The Shining was appropriate. Especially the end with Jack dead and frozen. I thought, well, that's how 2018 can go.
Yeah.
Dead and
Exactly. But it was not. It's not. It's so we were supposed to go down and go to a party, and she baked off, and so I baked off, and so Shecky baked off. And I don't know if anybody's going to this party, but and Shecky baked off because he had a cold. So, it's miserable out there. Why anybody's... by the way, I found out the big lie about Times Square. How many people are in Times Square on New Year's Eve?
I say like 2 million.
How many would you say, Phil?
300 to 500,000.
They always say it's 1 million.
Yeah.
Right?
So does Trump.
Yeah. Well, Trump should be doing this job. Do you know how much it turns out to go down there every year when it's filled up? There's a crowd expert who goes and can look at a crowd like that and tell you how many people are there. 100,000.
Really?
Yeah. They make it like, we have 1 million people in Times Square. Ah!
How many have umbrellas?
Well, tonight, we see, here's what happens now. Once you go into Times Square on New Year's Eve,
you can't leave.
You can't leave. You're penned in. There are literally these pens.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I don't think you can go to the bathroom either.
You can't, and thank God it's raining tonight, because if you pee your pants, nobody's going to notice the difference.
That's true.
The one place I think once I went to Times Square on New Year's Eve because I was protesting the war in Vietnam, and that's when I got kicked in the shins by a cop. So that's my memory of being in Times Square on New Year's Eve. Hello, Ray Renati.
Hey.
It's where are you?
I'm in the kitchen.
Oh, I see. Okay, because I was wondering why we're getting this low shot of you that almost doesn't look like Ray Renati.
You got a haircut.
Did you get a haircut?
Yeah, I did it myself.
Oh, boy.
Good job.
Good job.
I can't figure out how to turn the volume up, though.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I decided to do this tonight because I was really depressed today, and I just said, I got nothing to do at midnight. So why don't I at least maybe hope a few friends will call and I can celebrate New Year's with them. So
I was so bored. It's like I look forward to talking to you guys 4 nights a week. It's it fills my evening. I work hard all day, and I sit around and BS with you guys.
Well, can I tell you? Can I tell you? You were bored. I wasn't in the least. Anyway.
Well, the day after Christmas, I was looking for a gun. I mean, there was nothing to do. Nothing was open. I had no plans. Now, you know what I was going to do tonight, because it's New Year's and I want to stay off the street and stay away from all the liberals. I invited my super from the building to come on over for hors d'oeuvres and a beer and, watch a little TV. Yeah, he's a really great guy. Yeah. And he didn't make it. He had to go visit his parents.
Oh wow!
So
wow.
So I got stood up by the super.
Got stood up by the super. Well, I did nothing. Let's see here. So my birthday was uneventful. Christmas was a non-starter completely. Not even presents. Okay, and New Year's we're going to go somewhere, and now we're not going there. So it's really pathetic. My this is the life what my life has become, that my gimp wife, You're not the only gimp around now, Patrick.
Yeah, well, I didn't do anything for Christmas either. I had my folks over, and then like tonight, I don't go anywhere for New Year's anyway because it's another amateur night for driving.
Oh yeah.
So, and I'm actually, once it hits midnight here in an hour, I'm going to have a beer. And I have a beer every 3 years. So this will be my beer.
You're like a cicada.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I every 3 years I'll do a beer, in addition to the every year, my cripple drink. Your
cripple drink? I see.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, by the way, we have 4.5 minutes till New Year.
Oh.
And then if everything goes right, I will play Old Lang Syne by Guy Lombardo, and I have a graphic we'll play for a short moment.
Can you make the ball drop on Gabnet?
My balls dropped years ago.
You take one of those tennis balls. And...
Oh, here.
Yeah, I know you got one in a sock.
How's this? Okay,
that works.
It's a golf ball. Hey, here.
My ball dropped when I got out of the shower, so
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, I don't know. This time of the year, got up today. I was very depressed. But that's my way. I'm always very depressed. I'm facing this blood test next week. Oh, I went through that whole thing with that server not showing up here.
Yeah.
You know what happened?
No, what happened? They sent you two?
Well, finally, I called them on. They said, call on Monday if you haven't gotten it. We'll do. And so I said, it didn't come. And they said, okay, we'll give you a refund on it. And but they didn't really start the refund. I think they were waiting for some reason or another. So I went over to B&H and bought one for $20 less. So by the time he added in the tax, it was the same price, right?
Right.
And I got it that Monday, right? So this thing was supposed to arrive on Friday. Wednesday, it gets here. It's in on Amazon, delivered on Friday. Yeah. It had been delivered. It even had a time on it. But the post office never delivered it. I don't know where it was, what town it was in, where, whatever. But they did deliver it somewhere.
Yeah. So I called. Did you get your points back?
I called this guy and I said I just got it, and they said, okay, we'll send you a thing. Send it back to us. As soon as you send it back to us, we'll apply for the refund. And once I get the refund, I call American Express, and they give me back my rewards points. So but that drove me nuts. With the fucking post office department.
Yeah. Well. I hope that this machine works well and that you don't have any problems with it.
Oh, listen, it not only works well, I had a problem with it, not a problem of the piece of machinery, but something that I did wrong with it. And the company, which I think is in China, got onto my machine and got into the server and fixed it.
Ah. Now they're holding you hostage for Bitcoin?
This JTAP, or what the name of the company is, iTap, or I can't remember what it is. They're really a good company. They really took care of me. So I'm thrilled. I love it. It's fun. It's better than
what is it?
It's a
NAS.
It's a NAS. It's a network server with hard drives in it, which works much faster than the ones I have that were like dedicated, the Seagates. Much faster loading in and everything. So it's good. But, I mean, the goddamn fucking post office drives me nuts. I mean, they've driven me crazy every single time. You know?
Well, now you know you've got these points
Yeah.
at American Express, and they're probably burning a hole in your pocket. So what are you going to get?
Oh, I don't know. maybe another Echo. But
That's all you need.
Another video one so I can put it in here. Well, because I'm taking my Skype calls now from friends on my other line through that, you know. And I always have to run into the kitchen to do it, so it might be nice to have it here. I don't know. I might not do anything with the points for the time being. Well, we've got 35 seconds till it's midnight.
All right.
So, you know.
How are we going to view this?
I don't know if you guys are going to be able to view it. People out there will probably be able to view it, but, you know.
Yeah, I got it on television.
I hope the music is going to play all right. You know, we'll hope. But anyway, we got 15 seconds. Okay.
Uh-oh.
And we got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, everybody. At least, that we just lost Ray Renati.
Yeah. It's not the citizens panel tonight. It's the pathetic panel.
It's the pathetic panel. The people who have nowhere to go, no people who love them. My wife said to me, she says, come in just before you do the show and kiss me goodnight and wish me a happy new year. And I was going to do that, but unfortunately, she's dead. She was dead asleep by 10:30.
Just tell her you did it.
Yeah.
Not gonna.
Yeah. Even the cat is asleep in the other room, right?
Yeah.
You know.
I almost didn't make it. You know, usually by 9 I'm dead. I'm out, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm not used to doing something this late. And but we have a small panel here. I'm sure we'll probably hear back from Ray in a second or so.
Yeah.
What would you like to see out of this year, Patrick? I have the two Republicans here and me. All right, but what would you like?
You're safe. We don't eat. We don't eat the liberals.
What are your hopes for this year? If things went good in America, what would you like to see happen?
So we're speaking generally for the country.
Yeah, generally for the country. Yeah. There we. Yeah,
I'm back.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
We're asking the question, Ray. What do you want for this year? Do you have anything, Patrick, that you think you'd like to see happen?
Trying to think. I would like to see an orderly withdrawal out of the Middle East that is responsible, not knee-jerk.
Mm-hmm.
So, I understand we're going to need to remain in Iraq, but pulling out of Syria, I want it to be, that's fine. But as long as we can stage, if we need to, from Iraq. So from a military perspective, that's what I would like to see: a drawdown in the Middle East.
Yeah.
To end in 2000.
Right. Yeah. Let me see here. Let's see here. Phil, what do you, I can hardly wait for this answer. Phil, what do you want for this year?
Well, Mr. Bennett, I really want world peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to be Miss America.
Yeah. And yeah. Okay. And you want
really what I want?
Mhm.
I want health and happiness for everybody that I come in contact with, and the people that listen to this show and join this show. There's not much we're going to be able to do with our wishes and wants, but if everybody could be healthy and happy, that would be what I'd like for 2019.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Ray?
What do I want for 2019? That's the question.
Yeah.
For like the society or me or
You,
whatever.
the society, whatever. What would you like to have happen? Either to you
I guess I would
personally?
just like to get some sort of feeling back in our culture of, more togetherness and less divisiveness, and the ability to have conversations about things like we sort of had before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like it's gotten so much worse.
Oh,
and I don't. And so that we could all wear Happy New Year's hats every day.
Raise your camera just a little.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
There she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's the big thing. I mean, I think it's getting people down a lot.
I
general.
think this has been a rather exhausting year for most people.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
on the
can
whole.
see it with road rage and everything,
Yeah. I think that I would like to see us. I would like to see things be a little less dramatic,
Yeah.
and a little
Yeah.
less angst-filled, and but it's dependent upon. I hate to say this, the leader of the country to set the tone, and I think
Not necessarily. That's an excuse.
Well, no,
and you're playing the victim.
No, I'm not
See,
playing
that's
the victim.
the problem, Phil. When you do that, I mean, all Alex did was say one little thing, and
Yeah.
then you're like,
Well, that was enough.
No. I'm saying
that's-
I'm saying that he, whoever's in power, and we could say a lot of those other people that are in power as well, that they actually have to set an example for the tone of the nation, and the tone of the discourse. And, I think they're all guilty to some extent, but the person obviously who most people pay attention to because he's like the cat in the other room when she's awake, doesn't let anybody not pay attention to her, he sets the tone. And really, I think he should feel more of a sense of responsibility in that. That you got to be a little more careful with what you say.
Look, we've had other presidents that you might have disagreed with, whether it be the Bushes
Yeah.
or Reagan, and they especially Reagan set a tone that I felt made people proud to be American, and so. Even if they set that kind of tone, would you like Trump? Even if he had a phony way of
look. When he became
presenting
president,
himself?
Phil, when he became president, I had nothing but the greatest wishes that he was going to do a great job, that he was going to surprise me. Okay, because it's in my best interest, in your best interest, and in all of our best interest that he surprises us. But he didn't. In fact, he disappointed at least a lot of us. He didn't disappoint you. You jerk off to him every morning, but
I wish I could.
Yeah.
that's disgusting.
Oh yeah.
No, I have no prostate.
All that comes out now is dust.
White powder.
By the way, how's that going?
wish.
How's that going for you? You still wearing the diapers?
No. I'm diaper and pad free.
Yeah.
I'm still taking a pill that's supposed to suppress the urge to pee.
Yeah.
And give you better continence. But I don't know that I even need that. I just have to, do what do you call it? Not drink so much water.
Yeah.
At night.
Right.
And
Right.
but that's okay. My heart's pumping. Blood's going through it. I feel stronger, and I think 2019 is going to be the year I get healthy again.
Don't say that. Knock on
Break
wood.
a leg.
Knock on wood.
Break a leg.
I'm going to continue to go to the gym. I've been going to the rolfer and the chiropractor, and I feel good. My neck doesn't hurt anymore, and I'm using this nubby roller, this hard foam roller.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most painful thing in the world, but as soon as I use it, I feel great.
Yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't you use that on your ass?
Say what?
Your dad on your ass?
I do it on my back, my legs, my the front and back of my legs. I do it on the ass too.
I meant kind of tongue in cheek, but that's what I thought it would for your back and that. So okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Could you show us one night, maybe?
Well, I could show you the roller. I
mean, can you actually do it for us?
Yeah, I guess I could. But
Yeah.
this it's the Rolfer that told me about this thing, and it hurts almost as much as Rolfing does. But once I started doing the roller, the Rolfing didn't hurt as much.
I do a foam roller a lot. It's great.
Right.
You have the one with the knobbies on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's extremely hard. And have you ever used one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Every day.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it saves me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
My back and my on your legs on the side there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with it.
Yeah.
And it's making a difference. This is like the first time in a long time I haven't been in pain.
Well, let's hope your health is back on track.
That's a good thing for the
I'm
new year.
tired all the
Those
time.
help.
I'm tired all the time, but I think it's depression. I think it's a lot of things like that. Also, it's these damn pills I'm taking. But I'll be okay. But then I'll go get the PSA test, and I'll have prostate cancer. And
They'll let you live with it.
yeah, maybe they'll let me live with it. Yeah, who knows? Who knows? You know what I decided though? I'm not going to let them give me that test anymore. It terrorizes me so much, and it doesn't do me much good. It does a lot of good It does a lot of good for the doctor, who then has me come back in at 6 months, sticks another probe sonogram up my ass, or wands me with his sonogram device, which he charges $400 for. So he at least makes a certain amount of money out of me. And I'm just going to say to him, don't give me the test. I'll come in every 6 months. You can stick that thing up my ass if you want to. You can do anything you want to pad the bill, and just keep me on your mailing list.
Now, when he does that, does he invite you out on his boat since you're making the payment on it?
Well, something? I feel sorry for doctors today. I really do. I've gotten to the point because I look at what they charge, and then I look at what my insurance companies pay them. And, and it's not just Medicare. I mean, it's also the regular insurance company as well. And I'm thinking, how do these guys make a living?
Yeah, it's there's got to be a couple of people out there without insurance, but those are the ones that don't pay.
Well, this is why a lot of doctors now are with HMOs, because they can't afford to even have an office. All right,
most doctors don't make what they used to make years ago.
Well, they don't mind making a couple $100,000 a year and not having to pay the expenses of running an office and all of that.
Yeah.
I had a doctor, and I said, in that room there are about 5 women working there. What are they all doing? She says they're all handling health insurance.
Right.
I mean,
I have to go eat. Sorry to interrupt.
Really? Oh, okay.
Well, Happy New Year, Ray.
We're just doing
New
a show.
Year.
We're doing a rather short little show here, but I, wanted to have all my friends here. I didn't put up that I was going to do it till about 6 o'clock this evening.
Yeah, thanks for telling me, Phil. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
you're
I almost
welcome.
forgot. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Well, go eat, and happy
right.
New Year to you, Ray, and thank you for being
You
part
too,
of our
Alex.
citizens panels this year. We really
My
appreciate
pleasure.
it.
My
Take
pleasure.
care.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Okay, there goes.
Yeah,
there he goes. In fact, I'll dump him unceremoniously. Here we go.
I texted the usual suspects.
Oh, did you really? Yeah. Well, where are the usual suspects? Well, it's New Year's Eve, folks. I don't expect anything. I'm lucky. I got two people here.
Yeah.
But,
Tony playing cards with his family.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because Tony's the big loser around here. I thought he'd be calling immediately.
Ah, he's got friends from all over. They're there. They're playing Go Fish. They're looking at comics.
Yeah, he got a bunch of his cousins get together and they play board games and card games and so
Did they let those cousins out of the sanitarium?
Once a year, I like to show this picture, though.
Yeah, very nice.
Hey, man.
yeah, good.
Yeah, I have that up on. If you go to my Facebook page, folks, you can see the big full version of it. Every time I run that, Tony says, "I didn't know you had kids."
No, this was Kathleen.
And one year we decided, we were going together at the time. We decided that, I had the money to piss off on something like this. So we decided we wanted to send out a Christmas card. And what we were going to do is we were going to go get 3 kids, even if we had to rent them, and go out to Sears and get one of those cheesy backgrounds that they put everybody up against and have them make us Christmas cards. And so we did that, and I sent them out, and I signed them "Happy Holidays" from the Schwarzmans.
Yeah.
And people would write me and say, "I didn't know you got married. I didn't know you had kids. Wow, you have a family already, huh?" And it was like one of the biggest practical jokes I've ever pulled. I mean, it was amazing how many people had just paid so little attention to my life that they didn't know that this was a put on.
They don't know that they have kids.
Huh?
Those people didn't know they had kids.
Exactly. So I mean, that was my Christmas card for a year ago, and then the other day I put a picture up on my Facebook page of Marjorie asleep and the cat on the bed asleep, right? With the caption, "If this should make you drowsy" or something to that effect. And Tony, true to his form, goes, "I didn't know you got a cat."
He doesn't know anything.
Don't you think, Tony, I would be talking about my fucking cat all the time if I really had my own cat?
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
But, Tony talks about the Happy Meal toys. And, I found out that he sends the same posts to 75 different people. And, so I stopped getting posts from Tony. I couldn't take it anymore.
Oh, I told Tony, you ever send me another picture of Scooby Doo, and I'm going to block you.
Well, he did, and I did. So.
Oh, he went to the dentist yesterday.
Yeah.
And he sent me. Oh my God. I would say somewhere around 30 or 40 lines, it's like a machine gun that just
right.
No, but I've got my phone on mute all the time, so I don't, it doesn't disturb me as much. But he did send me a picture of the dentist that did his root canal, and he wasn't lying. In his messages, he said she's a knockout. She's really hot. Then he sent me a picture of her. Very good. She could do a root canal on me and not even numb it up.
Really? I got to go to Tony's Facebook page and see a picture of that.
Can she be on Fox News?
Yes, she could be.
Oh, okay.
I would.
Well, I'll refriend Tony.
I'd have her here.
Boy, can you imagine having that woman work on your mouth and be on gas at the same time? Boy. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a dental hygienist. Very attractive.
Really?
It's very difficult to have a conversation with her. She got her hands in your mouth, and you'd like to pursue further conversation.
Well, I had a what was it? I had a dental hygienist who was really gruesome looking.
Yeah.
But then she'd give me the gas, and somehow she looked hot to me. On the gas, everybody looks hot.
It's when they lean over and all of a sudden
Well,
you get brushed.
you can't do anything now because we got the whole Me Too thing going. Don't
Yeah.
you dare.
Well,
even,
talking about Me Too, Louis C.K., he can't catch
gee.
a break, can he?
Well, he can't keep himself from fucking up. I mean, I don't know what possessed him, but you know what you say to yourself is, I may be Mr. Edgy Comedian, but now that I'm trying to get my career back, I have to watch everything I say. Have you heard about this, Patrick?
No, the only thing I saw was the Kevin Spacey horse shit.
Well, he was nice. He brought a pizza out to the paparazzi, but you know.
Yeah, but here the thing was that Louis C.K. did in his act. He said, I had a hard time last year, and it was a pretty funny bit he was doing when he said I had a hard time last year. And he said, and then he got into like putting down people and say, so you're. I can't remember exactly what he said.
He said something about a fat, pimply-faced kid should have. If you didn't die there, it's because you pushed a fat kid in front of you.
Yeah.
And he got shot instead. You know.
Yeah, and then one of the fathers at the school down in Florida, Parkland, is it? Put out a tweet saying, come on down here and I'll show you, blah, 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 blah.
These guys have no sense of humor.
What, the guys at
Parkland?
Well, I think, Phil, if you will permit me this, a moment of what we would call
lucidity,
political correctness. Having your kid killed is not something that's fun.
I know, but Louis told you what to do. Just push the fat kid with pimples in front of you. Anyway, yeah.
I think what it is that Louis is in such a bad way trying to get a career back that he was like, he was trying to be edgy and show that he was still edgy, but he was reaching and didn't know where he was exactly reaching. Although the owner of the club said that it was a very good set and he got a standing ovation when he was through. What I heard, I would like to hear the whole act in context. I don't like hearing a comedy act in pieces because you really can't tell what came before it and what went on after it, and that context has a lot to do with something.
Sure.
So if you
they set it up.
It was like Lenny Bruce used to hate the fact that when he'd be tried in court, a cop would get up and do his act. And then he said blah blah blah, and then he said blah blah blah, and he said, you're ruining my fucking act. That's not the way it was done.
Yeah.
So that was what what went on with. I think so. I'd like to hear the whole thing, and then I'll judge whether Louis did anything bad. If he didn't do anything bad, or it wasn't that bad, it doesn't matter because that's the way it came across, and that's how it's going to be remembered. And this does not help him getting back his career.
Yeah, I think he said something about he lost $35 million in 1 minute last year or this year.
It could very well be.
Yeah.
He was in a very successful place for a comedian. And if you want to talk about things that went on this year, that's a good example of what went on this year. Especially Louis C.K. because of all the different. You can say Kevin Spacey, what a creep face. He diddles little boys and he grabs people and whatever. And Harvey Weinstein's a big fat fuck. Who would want that greasy body slurping all over your face? Well,
if he was at Parkland, you could have pushed him in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. But when it gets to Louis C.K., I'm going, come on. This went on years ago. And he, in fact, asked the women if they minded if he pulled his penis out. And nobody said no, and they sat there and watched. So who was being harmed by this action? Well, they only stayed around because of his power. Well, I don't know if Louis C.K. was ever considered power in this business,
Weren't some of the people that were in that room probably as powerful as he was? There was that woman, she was in Californication. And a number of things. She played the.
At the time, I think maybe they were more.
Yeah.
You know who
I'm talking about.
Yeah, right? But he certainly doesn't have. You're talking about Pamela Adlon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like Pamela Adlon because he was very good to Pamela Adlon. He involved her in all the stuff that he did. He did that show on HBO. She played the wife. He did the thing on Californication. Well, no, that was another producer. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But he did that show with the single woman and the 3 kids. I'm trying to remember the name of it right now. That he produced. That she got nominated for a Golden Globe for. And that was because he backed her on that. Okay. And when this whole thing happened, all of a sudden she throws him to the wolves.
Wow.
Well, I
Threw him
think
under the
maybe,
bus?
yeah, I think maybe he deserved a little more from you than that,
Yeah.
because I don't know whether he ever used his power for any reason whatsoever, but what he did for you was because he, I think, believed you genuinely had a good talent and wanted to use it and see it exploited, But
Yeah.
I mean, those were that was kind of the big story of the year, was the whole, Time's Up, Me Now, whatever movement,
Yeah.
and the twists and turns that it took, and some of the what can we call it, disasters along the way for people's careers who maybe didn't deserve it. They did something wrong at a time when it was countenanced, and now it isn't countenanced. So it's kind of like the days when we had the McCarthy era, and they would go back and say, "Have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?" Well, I was back in 1935. Well, hell, half America thought communism was a good idea in 1935. They were just coming out of the Depression.
Is this an accurate observation that most of the people that got caught up in the Me Too movement were the ones that apologized? And the ones that said, bullshit, I didn't do this, actually walked in many cases?
I don't know if that was necessarily the case, but I mean, I think of certain people who I think, and you would disagree with this, you'll probably agree with me on this one, even though you don't like the person. Al Franken got robbed.
Probably, yeah, because, I mean, I did set up shots like that at the college radio station. But I mean, everybody was awake, and nobody was pretending to be asleep.
She was awake. She was pretending to be asleep, and it was a gag shot that they were doing. But all I'm saying is, you then have Kirsten Gillibrand, who wants to be president of the United States, but believe me, she'll never ever fucking get my vote. That cunt.
Yeah.
She threw him to the wolves, and it's like eating your own. He was like one of the most left-wing senators that we had. And it's like throwing him to the eating your own. And
he apologized.
And he apologized, and I think he just finally quit because I think he just said, "Fuck it, I don't need this."
Well, it's like they sense weakness when there's the apology. They smell a little more blood and they start going for the throat.
Yeah.
Like a wolf does.
I'm sorry should be the beginning of a mea culpa, not the beginning of more, now we really got you because you admitted to it,
Right. Yeah, put the claws in them.
Yeah. I mean, I think that what he did is I kind of hold it against him because he quit. But on the other hand, I think he probably said to himself, I really had today's Rob Alfano's birthday, it says here. Oh, okay. He just, I don't know. All I'm saying is he is, I think he quit too easily.
Yeah.
I think if he had stuck around and gone to the hearings and stuff, he would have been vindicated a great deal and all of that.
Do you think that maybe he quit too easily because there was something there that he didn't want exposed?
I think he didn't want that. I think he said, I signed up to be a senator, not to go through this bullshit. Right? I mean, and let's face it, he's had other successful careers,
Yeah.
and didn't need the Senate. He did it, I think, more out of love than out of anything else. I can't see that he did it for the money involved or anything like that, or for the power.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of power, but I'm sure it wasn't for the money.
Yeah.
Except they get millions and millions of dollars after or during their Senate activities. You know, these guys walk away with some serious money. And I don't understand how they do it.
I don't think he was a senator long enough. And secondly, he already had serious money from writing books and everything like that. That's what these senators usually do, is they write books. Yeah. He wrote several books that were, you know, Rush Limbaugh's A Big Fat, whatever that book was. He made a lot of money off of that. I mean, I think the kind of money that a senator makes, he already had kind of made. It was already ensconced in that business.
Yeah. Now, it looks like there's going to be a big field of Democrats vying for the nomination, and Elizabeth Warren just threw her tomahawk in the ring, and
I think she should forget it.
Yeah,
I would never vote for her.
You don't think she's going to get the Cherokee vote?
No.
Right.
No. Listen, I think that Elizabeth Warren is somebody who in the beginning had something to say, and then everybody said how wonderful she was, and the hubris kind of got to her. And now she's hardly relevant.
Yeah.
You know, now, I mean, I hate to see you and I agreeing on something, but, you know, in the case of
it's for different reasons, I'm sure.
You know, I mean, I know that Trump is beatable, but he's not beatable by anybody that's come up so far. Let me put it that way.
Not even Biden, I don't think.
Biden could give him a good run for his money because Biden just won't take shit out of him. But Biden's too old for the job, you know? And what he would have to do, Biden, is get some really young guy running with him or woman.
Beto,
probably Beto O'Rourke would be a good Beto. You know, but you know, here we are. We're 2 years away from an election, and already we're saying who's running now. Already the race has begun, and you're going, come on. You know,
well, I can predict that the 50 people that want to have the Democratic nomination, in the beginning, they're going to sort of make a pact that says we're not going to do what Trump did to the other 19 Republicans that were on the vying for the Republican nomination in 2016. That's going to last about 6 days. And,
I don't think they will get that mean, because I don't think the Democrats ever get that mean. I don't think the Republicans have gotten that mean until Trump. You know.
Yeah. He's shown them that it works, and they're just waiting.
Well, you know, it could be though. It may be, and I would disagree with you on that. It may be that they would make the mistake by thinking that it works, but it probably only worked once. You know, it's not going to work a second time. Because it was a surprise, they weren't ready for it, you know.
Well,
and meanwhile, while Trump was acting uncivil like hell, all the others were trying to keep their dignity, you know.
You know, but the campaigns, even non-presidential, presidential campaigns, have all gone negative in the last 20, 25 years. You know, it used to be a positive thing where you'd have people debating. Even the Kennedy-Nixon debate wasn't all that bad, but they've seemed to have gone much more negative than, and every campaign gets more and more negative.
You've got to remember something, and I think this is something we fail to remember, because Marjorie always goes to me, "Oh, the world is so horrible now; it's the worst it's ever been." And I went, "It's not the worst it's ever been. It's just as being reported more than it ever has." Okay, well, and by people who have to keep the news rolling in, because that's how they're making their living. So they'll take a mountain and make it a molehill and make it into a mountain just to be able to get some airtime.
You could read a 150-year-old newspaper, and most of the stories that would be in there that were political were, you know, negative infighting. You know, there was no. It really hasn't changed. It's just that we're here now.
Yeah, we're being joined, by the way, by Josh Wheeler.
Hey, Happy New Year.
He's probably another person who has nobody to deal with on New Year's Eve. So we're doing about an hour here, Josh. Just but all I'm saying is that I think that if you want to talk about, you say, well, the press they're really ginning up the stories and everything. You want to see time when news was really ginned up? Go back to the 20s and 30s in New York City. There was one newspaper that wanted to sell newspapers so much. The headline read, "Our editor found in love tryst."
Well, what about Hearst, who said, you just reported and I'll make the war.
He sent him down to Cuba.
Right.
And the guy wrote back and said, "There's no war down here." He says, "You report the news, I'll supply the war."
That's right.
So there was a time when the news was whoring itself out to make a buck, So.
And it's not doing it now.
It is.
Except they're getting called on it, and no matter how much you dislike the guy, he's calling them on. Now, a lot of things that they're saying is true, but there's a lot of things that aren't true.
No, I don't think it's.
Or they're reporting
I don't think
different angle.
I don't think they're not saying stuff that isn't true, but they're ginning it up.
Yeah.
They're exploiting it far more. I mean, as I say, I find it very difficult myself to watch MSNBC because I see such a direct bias there that I go, hey, even though it's biased to my way of thinking, this is not going to sucker me into wanting to watch it. I just want to watch somebody who's going to tell me what the fuck is going on.
Well, that's because you want the truth, but most people only want to hear
the truth.
What they want to hear.
I want the news. How do you feel about it, Josh? You like the way the news is these days?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I would agree with you. I don't really watch. I mean, even when I'm off nights now, I mean, I'd rather watch a ball game. I inform myself. I like Morning Joe in the morning because it's they have a lot of different people on. They change it a lot and everything. But I don't really do the evening stuff. I really don't care for Rachel Maddow or any of that kind of stuff because I just feel like it's almost like an hour of their arrogance lecturing to me, and it's like I already know all this shit.
Why does Rachel Maddow have such high ratings, and the highest?
Oh, because she's telling a group of people what they want to hear.
Sure, the same reason that
Hannity has an audience for the
Fox
same reason.
had high ratings for the last 8 or 10 years or whatever. It's just with a different group of people.
Yeah. So but that's precisely why I don't like MSNBC, because I feel they're like, they're jerking me off. They want me to watch and they're going to tell me what I want to hear. Well, I'm sorry, that's not what I want to hear. What I want to hear is some objective journalism.
Right, and sometimes I flip through some of the channels when I drive into work or whatever, because I have Sirius Radio, and I catch a minute or two of her show sometimes, and it's every night. It's almost like every night there's this new big scandal story with the Trump and one of his people, and sometimes I'm just like, if this was really that big a deal, I would have heard about it in the New York Times or the Washington Post, and I haven't. It's almost like she's the only one with the real news, or I don't know. She just
what the problem is that I find they're missing out on a lot of important stories. I mean, there are a lot of things going on worldwide that are very important. There's a resurgence of Nazism in Germany right now, and you don't see them reporting it, because all they're trying to do is they figure Trump's good copy, so let's just bleed Trump till the whole story is dry. You
remember Rachel Maddow supposedly had Trump's tax return, and that turned out to be about as big a deal as that safe that what's his name Rivers
Geraldo Rivera
had.
Al Capone's vault.
Al Capone's vault.
Was
there a Pepsi can in there?
I think it was a Pepsi can in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care for the cable deal. I mean, I like Morning Joe a lot more than any of the other morning shows because CNN just has people on that just get in an argument every morning. I mean, they really do. I mean, Morning Joe goes around the table and kind of like what you do here. They go around the table and everybody speaks and, is coherent and makes sense. And, CNN will get, Kellyanne Conway on for 10 minutes every third day so that she can yell at them and they can yell. And I don't know what's the point. That kind of a person's not going to tell you anything.
It's not fun. It's not fun. But anyway, right. So the year coming up, I guess, do you think it's going to be better this year than it was last year? I mean, this last year we had some pretty terrible things happening.
I think the economy's in for a little bit of a surprise. I think there's a bubble that's probably going to burst in the housing market. It's not going to be like 2008, but it's not going to be good. And even though I think we had 3% GDP in this last quarter, which is pretty damn good. I mean, because they under Obama they were talking about 1% being the new norm, and but I have a feeling that things aren't going to be all that rosy this year.
No, I don't think so. In fact, I'm buying a bigger mattress, so I'll have someplace to put all my money when I take it out of those stocks.
Well, if you don't take it out soon, there won't be any money to stuff in the mattress.
No. If I don't take it out soon, I can buy a smaller mattress. Yeah.
What, for the cat?
Yeah, right, exactly. What's this?
Now, I did want to say, when I called in a minute ago, just real quick, I would at least keep your mind open to some of the people that might run for president in the Democratic Party. I mean, I honestly thought last time, and I think so this time too, that one of the people from the Democratic Party that could have run and talked about a lot of the same issues that Trump talked about, like trade, and this person would appeal to labor and unions. He's not quite the free trader that most Democrats are going to be. He would be a lot more in line with Trump on that. And some of those other issues is our senator here in Ohio, Sherrod Brown, who's been elected multiple times here statewide in Ohio and is thinking about running. I don't know if I would completely support him for president or not. I mean, if he were the nominee, I certainly would. But, I felt like Sherrod Brown should have been the vice presidential nominee last time because he maybe could have brought Ohio to the table. I really didn't understand why they went with that bland, vanilla guy down there in Virginia. I mean, Sherrod Brown is a little bit more of a fire breather than I think people realize.
What's his name again?
Sherrod Brown.
I thought
senator from here in Ohio.
Yeah.
Hillary's
I really think a team of, like Joe Biden and Sherrod Brown, two working class type people who come from working class backgrounds, who are going to be able to talk about trade and jobs in the same way that Trump went around and did, and appeal to people in states like Ohio and Michigan and Wisconsin that Hillary just, kind of overlooked, is probably going to be pretty formidable if Trump continues to get himself in trouble. But, we'll see.
You have another guy from Ohio that wants to challenge Trump, Kasich.
Well,
but Kasich was in the mix last time. I think the normal list of what I would like to see and what I hope occurs is what happened with Obama. I mean, at this point in the game, you were just beginning to hear about Obama. He wasn't even a factor. At this point in the game, you only barely heard about Bill Clinton, as an example. But that guy who comes into it and nobody heard of before comes in probably with a cleaner slate than anybody else and without much of a record, and doesn't have to have that record where you say, well, you run on your record. Well, you also die on your record too. And
did the cat close the door?
What?
The cat closed the door.
No. Really?
Well, somebody did.
Wait a minute.
Marjorie's not walking.
Might have been my wife. Hold on a second. Let me see.
Hey.
Oh, that's who it was. It wasn't the cat.
Okay. Well, there was a reason that apartment went as cheap as it did. It's haunted.
Gimp taking a pee, and she didn't want all the noise coming from this room to bother her. But anyway, But you know, so I mean, I guess what's going to happen is we're going to, you know, I think it's got to be somebody fresh, okay, and who knows who that's going to be. All right.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of the California lefties are going to be able to do anything like Kamala Harris and a number of the others that are coming from the far left. You know,
well,
I think,
you know who is
ultimately-
going to be a formidable candidate a few years from now is your current governor, or your new governor.
He's got the hair.
Yeah, yeah. He watch out for him. He's got the charm. He's got the you know, he's got it. He's a
Yeah, he's a Kennedy-esque.
well, it's like when I saw Obama, I said, you know what Obama is? Obama is a stealth candidate. You know, he's got everything going for him. Good-looking guy. You know, he's black, but he's not black enough, you know, to scare people. And he was a stealth candidate. I mean, he was he spoke well, he was dynamic, he moved people with his speeches, and he looked terrific. All right, so what else do you need?
Yeah.
You know,
But looks and the way you deliver a speech shouldn't be the deciding factor on whether you're a leader or not.
but it is.
Unfortunately,
It is.
it has been.
You know,
but that just tells you how low rent our voters are.
In every era, we have had the methods of dissemination in those eras as the focal point of why people won or lost. I give
Only
as an
since
example
television.
that Abraham Lincoln won partially because he looked really tall and imposing from the back of a train. All right, that was the method of communication in those days. FDR,
he did a train?
FDR had a very commanding voice on radio.
Yeah.
Kennedy looked great on television. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's the media of the age that you have to appeal to, and usually it's always been people who were appealing in their various categories.
Well, how about Grover Cleveland?
Well, I don't know what he was on the back of
400 pounds.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, no, but you know something? Our presidents used to be really fat. You know.
You mean I got a chance?
Yeah, he got a chance. No, now, you know, I mean, I think that, for instance, Biden's too old to win.
The same with Bernie Sanders, and he's too liberal or too to the left.
Yeah, the only thing is he has a certain. You're not going to agree with this term, but he has a certain charm factor. He has a certain kind of charisma because of his.
Yeah, he's like your grandfather.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, because
the
of his-
crazy uncle.
Yeah, he has the crazy uncle appeal.
But all he appeals to is the kids, and they don't vote.
Yeah, well, he doesn't. I don't think he has a chance of getting the nomination at this point. I think that's time has passed him by on that one. Hillary certainly isn't going to try again. You know, I think she's finished. You know?
I think if she might.
No,
you know,
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think she had enough of it. I think that would put me off. Wouldn't put you off?
Well, you know, if they do an impeachment, for instance, to Trump, even if it doesn't go anywhere, she's going to use that and say, look, I was right. Trump was wrong. You should have elected me. Look, he got impeached. You know, I've got the goods. As you said, she knows where the bathroom is. You know.
Yeah, but I think there are other people. I'm waiting. I want that candidate who we least expect to come to the front. You know, the one that people don't know that much about and they want to hear about them. Does that make sense, Josh? As a perfect candidate.
I think people were ready for something new last time, and there were not really any emerging candidates that were appealing enough to make it.
I mean, Hillary was about as old hat as you could get.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and I'm in the camp. I'm among the people that thinks the Democratic Party, it's time to remake themselves. Is now. I mean,
Yes.
I wasn't happy with Pelosi.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you who's.
Yeah,
They
got,
have been hijacked.
I got to tell you who. No, you know who's got to remake themselves too? The Republicans. The Republicans have got to rethink their whole strategy.
Right.
Because the thing that won them the White House is the very thing that may lose them the White House.
The Republicans didn't win the White House. Trump won it. The Republicans are being exposed for the kind of bullshit people that they are.
I will agree with what you just said. He won it. The
they're hangers
on.
But
where the Republicans are hurting themselves are by attaching themselves to his coattails. And if he falls, they're going to go with him, just big time. Okay, and America isn't going to forget that.
I don't think he's going to fall. I think he's going to win re-election. But as far as the Republicans, I think that they didn't support Trump, and they won the White House to spite themselves.
I'll tell you one thing we're going to see this year, and very soon this year, is the Mueller investigation and the results of that. And we don't know what's going to come out. We don't know what the result of that is going to be. And if it is damning enough and damaging enough, and it comes out with the goods, it's got the proof and it's got all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, it could be very devastating to Trump. He might have a hard time keeping Republicans on his side.
Well, he has a hard time right now, because he can't. Well, I guess he needs 10 Democrats to get his wall funding, and he can't get that. This negotiation is weakening him a bit. And
I think he's. If you want my opinion, Phil, he's very stupid to go on this wall deal at this point, because he's holding up too much on the basis of that. And if you think about it, the wall isn't necessarily the answer. None of us are going to argue that we shouldn't have border security. I don't think that's a non-starter. I think you won't find a Democrat that doesn't agree on that one.
But for the last 15 years, Alex.
But wait a minute. The idea of putting up a wall is a very klutzy, stupid idea.
Have you seen any of those videos of Schumer and Obama and some other important politicians of the time in the last 15 years, all calling for a wall? Especially Schumer and Obama. I've seen those videos being played. They weren't mocked up or anything. They were saying they were asking for the exact same thing Trump is now. They just don't want to give Trump a win.
I don't care I don't care what they said in the past. I think the idea of a wall is a very stupid idea. It's a very simplified, a very simple-minded solution to a very complex problem.
I don't see how you can patrol the wall. You see, in Israel, where the wall is effective, it's not It's not 2,000 miles.
There's all kinds of technology we have available to us, not the least of which are drones, as an example.
Unless it rains.
Listen, these guys who've been bringing drugs across the border know how to dig tunnels deeper than you can build walls higher.
It's not the border. It's the fentanyl that's coming in from China.
Well, the fact is that although I was saying, I hate this notion that all this crime is coming, is this fear tactics being used, but all this crime that's coming across the border, and then we have this guy kill a cop in California. And what was he? An illegal alien from Mexico.
And so were the 7 other family members and friends that they arrested who harbored him. And
that doesn't indict every illegal alien. That means that illegal alien.
It's a good start.
No, all I'm saying is thank you very much, you asshole. Couldn't you committed your crime at some other time? I mean, I don't want to give fodder to his to the notion.
But these things have worked. I mean, look at the Willie Horton thing. But it's the same kind of thing.
You're putting fear in people where fear need not exist. Do you really feel that a Mexican's going to come and kill you, Phil?
Hola, wait a minute.
No. The reality
fear,
is no.
But fear is the selling item that people have used for everything.
Yeah, but we shouldn't be. How can I put it? We shouldn't be allowed to play into that.
Well, since the beginning of time, in sales, you use fear. Basically, the fear of loss is greater than the desire for gain. So people don't want to lose, and they fear losing what they have rather than making a decision to buy something new. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with political candidates. You have to give people enough reason to feel that that fear will be overcome if you're going to be safe.
Are you afraid?
There's certain dominant buying motives, and safety is one of them.
Patrick's been quiet. Patrick, you fearful? You afraid of anything that way?
Not where I'm at, but I certainly, I don't think that we have a handle on illegal immigration. And the thing is, I've said this before, we've got stuff on the book, we've got laws on the book, we've got ways of doing things, and nobody's doing them. And it just feeling sorry bullshit, and I keep bringing up Canada, and I keep bringing up your buddy that can't get up to Canada because he got a DUI.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's okay that Canada has restrictive laws and enforces them, but as soon as we do, mm-hmm. well, then we're fucking people on the planet. And I think it's bullshit. So if we're not going to enforce the laws that are on the books, then put up a fucking wall. That's my solution.
It's 115 miles of wall, and it's not even. It's slats, metal slats. Next, it'll be Venetian blinds.
Well, and I like what Nancy Pelosi said. He'll finally have us talk down to what was it? Beaded curtains. A beaded curtain.
Left over from the
60s. How about you, Josh? Are you worried about Mexicans coming and killing you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. That's. I agree. That's. It's a fear tactic type of thing. Exactly. I mean, are there a lot of, I don't know how many of the illegal aliens and everything we really have, but I drive around, I live around a pretty populous area, one of the largest cities in the nation, and, I think it's in the top 15 in population. I drive and work around it every day, and you see people from all over. But we haven't been overrun by Mexicans or anything,
My last big question here before we round out this year-end special, as it
extravaganza,
which I don't know why I decided to do a show when I got a day off. Is who's going to win the Oscar? And I got to tell you, I've been watching these screeners I've gotten from SAG. There were a lot of shitty movies this year that are getting up for awards. I only saw two movies that we really, really liked. One was the Green Book, which is about what's his name? I'm trying to remember the name of the actor. But it's about a white Italian guy who's working as a bodyguard for this black musician who has to travel through the South. And it's really good. And it's really well acted. Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali, or whatever his name is. Both of them deserve Oscars for what they did. Just terrific performances. And then this thing about I Couldn't Be More Sorry, I think, or something. That's the title. I'm probably getting the title wrong. Melissa McCarthy's picture. She is spectacular in this thing. A performance you wouldn't expect out of her,
Wow.
And so those were the two pictures. The ones we watched that were terrible, Bohemian Rhapsody, horrible. Mary Poppins Returns, don't even bother watching it. It's going to put you to sleep.
I had a
feeling. Even this film, The Favorite, it got three great performances trapped in a really bad movie. And Mary Queen of Scots, terrible. it was just amazing. We watched one film after another and said, where's the good ones? And then all of a sudden we saw the Melissa McCarthy and we saw the Green Book and we went, well, these are good. You know?
I saw at my local comfy chair theater, The Mule, the Clint Eastwood film.
Yeah.
And it was no Gran Torino. I mean, it was totally watchable. You know, it was an
Gran Torino was only
movie.
worth it for him using the phrase "get off my lawn." You know, I mean. Anyway,
but, you know, it wasn't bad.
Listen, I'm gonna go get some sleep here. I think there's a cat who wants my love before she leaves us tomorrow and goes back to her parents. And I just want to thank you guys for being here, and I want to thank you for being part of my my citizen panel over the year. And it's always nice to have somebody back like Josh, who adds beautifully to the mix. You know, I just want to wish you all a happy new year, and all the people that are listening to us, and all the people who have been on the citizen panel over the last year for making our lives a little bit better. And we hope this is a good year for the rest of you. What I would like is for you to all kind of wave goodbye there.
And
Johnny. Yeah. Okay. And that's it. That's kind of our little spectacular for tonight. Let me see here. I guess I'll close with some music that we played earlier, right? Why not? Yes. That's it. That's the end of our program. That's the end of our New Year program here. And in the new year, if you happen to see her, be sure to tell her I love her, and we'll see you in about a day or so with another GabNet Ramble. Bye.